On the sacred plains of Kurukshetra, the drums of war had stilled. Thousands stood ready to fight. Yet, in the center of the battlefield, there was silence. Arjuna, the great warrior, lowered his bow. His hands trembled, his eyes clouded with doubt. He looked across the battlefield and saw not enemies, but his own kin, his teachers, his friends, and in that moment, his spirit wavered. He turned to the one beside him, to the charioteer, to the one who held the reins of both chariot and destiny, Krishna. And with a heart weighed down, Arjuna spoke, "How can I fight them? How can I kill those I love? What good is victory, soaked in the blood of my own?" He dropped his bow and surrendered. But Krishna did not. He looked at Arjuna, not with judgment, but with eternal calm. And then he spoke, "Arjuna, why this despair in the hour of truth? You speak of love and loss, yet forget who you are. This body is but clothing. The soul within cannot die, cannot be wounded, cannot fade." The battlefield fell away, and the divine truth rose like the sun. Krishna reminded him that life is duty, that true warriors do not seek comfort, they seek righteousness. He said, "You grieve over those who are never truly yours. You fear defeat, when your duty is to act, not to control the outcome. Act, Arjuna, without attachment. That is your freedom." And so, in that sacred moment, Krishna awakened not just a warrior, but a soul, because this was not just a war of kingdoms, it was a war within. We've all stood where Arjuna stood, in moments where our strength feels small, where fear shouts louder than faith, when we want to step back instead of forward. But Krishna's voice echoes still. You were not born to surrender, you were born to rise. Cast aside this weakness, face your Dharma. Do not run, do not break, stand tall, with truth as your shield. This is the lesson of Kurukshetra, that the greatest enemy is not outside. It lives in doubt, fear, and hesitation. But beyond that is your power, your purpose, and your eternal self. And in that moment, Arjuna remembered. He picked up his bow. He stood, not as a man in fear, but as a soul awakened, because in the presence of truth, fear cannot survive. And just as Krishna guided Arjuna, he guides us. Every time we choose courage over comfort, every time we walk the harder path, every time we rise when we feel broken, Krishna walks beside us, always. Let go of fear, do your Dharma. The divine walks with you.